Hey folks, SoloGamer here, and we're fixing to play another game of Mansions of Madness. And this time we are playing the Season of the Witch print-on-demand expansion. We're going to be using Jenny Barnes, who comes with a 45 automatic, and Ashcan Pete, who comes with his guitar. And as you notice, the layout's a little different. As you can see, you have one level here and this one here, and this is supposed to be like the regular place where the heroes start out at. Then you have the other world over here. As the keeper, I have a couple of I have Brown Jenkins here. Command minion, summoning, summon worshippers, evil presence, and gate flux. So I'll go over them as the time comes, but first let us go ahead and start the game and let us read our story. And basically it starts: the frightened student story was typical of the superstitious nature of most Arkham natives. Even the highly educated professors at Miskatonic University seemed to believe the place was cursed, haunted, or worse. The decaying eyesore was built in the late 1600s by Keziah Mason, a woman sentenced to death in Salem for allegedly practicing witchcraft. However, she mysteriously escaped the gallows and was never seen again. Her ancestral estate is now cleverly referred to as the Witch House, and legends circle around its gable buttresses like flies on a corpse. If only young Nola Mason's disappearance was such a legend. Nola Mason, a bright young mathematics student attending Miskatonic University, is one of the many residents of the Witch House. Frank Elwood, another tenant, recently reported Nola had gone missing. Your case started there. Frank informed you that Nola had only moved into the low-rent Witch House to explore a theory. She believed that Riemannian equations could bend time and space, opening gates to other places and dimensions, and something about the architecture of the Witch House intrigued her. Frank described how, over time, Nola became obsessed, secluding herself in different rooms to study the intricate angles of the house, and how she would ramble on about how she could finally prove her theory. But then she started to make other wild claims, like how she spoke to old Keziah at night. She even claimed to see the witch's rat-like familiar Brown Jenkins, who was the source of many urban legends concerning the Witch House. It was with genuine fear that Frank begged you to find the missing girl before midnight strikes on the convenient occasion of Walpurgis Eve. And I hope I pronounced that right. Alright. It is evening by the time you arrived at the boarding house, having spent most of the day chasing the few leads you gleaned from Frank's story, all to no avail. Darkness has fallen on Arkham, and like the locals, your mind begins to play tricks on you as you approach the ancient building. Fortunately, the residents of the Witch House have fled in fear of Walpurgis, leaving the house free for you to investigate. Frank's tale continues to nag at your mind as you make your way up to the dirt path. You remember him telling you that Nola always kept a journal of her studies, and he last saw it during dinner the night before she disappeared. Okay, so let's get started. Well, I guess he hired an adventuress and a bum. I guess the bum could use the money because Ashcan's a bum, so basically, or he's homeless. But they start at the front porch. I start the game with 2 meet those cards and 2 threat. So let's go ahead and get started. I want to start with Jenny, and she will spend 1 action to explore here, and she finds the axe. Okay. And you know what she's going to do? She's going to spend another action to trade that to Ashcan. And then she spends her last action to move. Ashcan's going to spend 1 action to move. He's going to explore, and he finds the Ruby of Rylith. Once per turn, after you spend an action to cast a spell, you may take 1 additional action. You may not cast the same spell. Okay. Well, since it looks like he might be the well, you know what? He's going to move right here. Okay, and so I will take 2 meet those cards. We'll put 1 time token on the time thing here. And let's see what I can do here. Let me see. I could spend one on that. No, well, we don't have a lone investigator. Move a monster. Kill any number of cultists. Well, I don't have any of those. Place a cultist on a space containing an altar. I could do that. Evil presence, of course I can do that. Alright, so it looks like I might do a couple of things here. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to spin a threat. And we're going to place a darkness token in the investigator's room. So let's go ahead and do that. Then I can spin another one. Basement or any room in darkness. I will do that. Through the dark, you see a pair of red eyes slowly moving towards you. And let's see who has the lowest will. She has 6. Yeah, they got about the same. So I will start with Jenny. She's going to take 1 whore. Let's go ahead and give her 1. And we can move her up to 2 spaces, but I really don't want to move her up to 2 spaces. And then we will take 1 here, and we will summon worshippers. And we will put a cultist in a space with an altar. Now, as you can see, in this other world area, we have an altar there, and we have an altar there. So let me try to decide where I want to do that. But before I even do that, I'm going to take this last threat, and I'm going to get a summon evil presence. And I am going to take a trauma and mythos card. Okay, and that's going to be my turn, but let me put the cultist out. Okay, so I put the cultist here. I put him in the cave. And so does our hero's turn. Now, there is a darkness token in here, so they can only move 1 space. And do I keep them separated or do I split them up? So that's the big thing. So I probably will split them up. So Ashcan Pete's able to move there. She's able to move there. And now they're all in light. Huh. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have her, Jenny Barnes, so her turn, she explores and she finds a Colt 38. Well, dang. And that's going to be the end of her turn. Ashcan is going to move here, and we're going to look at what this is here. And this is a suitcase. You find a sturdy suitcase sealed by a symbol combination lock. You must solve lock puzzle 6A. Okay, so let's see here. First thing I got to do is when I put the room in darkness, I forgot to make each of them do a will check. So let's go ahead and retroactively do that. I forgot to do that. So Jenny passed, and Ashcan, he failed. So he's going to go ahead and take 1 whore. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and do puzzle 6A. Okay, so I'll go ahead and pause and let him do it. Okay, so he passed it, so let's see what we got. We have clue 4A. Let's take a look at what clue 4A is. The notes of the journal, well, hold on. It's going to be Nora's journal. Key, the book is filled with strange babble on dimensional travel. Discard this card to discard irregular wall. Okay. And let's have a look-see at what clue 4A is going to be. It says, the notes of the journal repeatedly mention the recent appearance of a bizarre statue. Nola writes that the thing was disturbing to look upon, but held some mystical power she wanted to study. The last time she saw the statue was when the landlord was taking her around the corner hall to be washed. Okay. Alright, and so that's going to be the end of their turn. We're going to put another time token on the thing here, and I'll gain 2 more threat. So, let's see, it says, alright, let's see, I have 2. Okay, I'm going to spin 2 threat on this Mythos card right here, Baffling Voices. And I'm going to go ahead and do that on, I think I'll do that on Ashcan. Whispered voices drift down the halls. Their chanting becomes louder and louder. You cover your ears and start banging your head against the wall to get the voices out. Take 1 horror and 1 damage. So he's got to take 1 horror and 1 damage. So he's already 2 there. And I have this forbidden knowledge thing here. If what it says here is true, then Then no, shake head, pauses, and it's not true. Each time you use a tome card or gain skill points, take 1 horror. So we'll put that above Ashcan Pete as well. Okay, well, I went ahead and blew through my turn pretty quick. So let us go back to our hero's turn. And it's Jenny Barnes' turn. And she's going to move 1, 2, and she's going to explore. And she finds a nameless Colts. Test intellect. Take 1 horror. Alright, well, she gains a book. Ashcan don't need to gain the book. Alright, so that's her turn. Ashcan moves in here. He's 1. He's going to explore. And he finds cult robes. Gain +4 to all evade tests. Cultists and cult leaders may not attack you. Discard after you take an action. An attack action. Okay. And he moved 1, explore. He gets to see what this locked door is, although he cannot go in there. Jam door. You grunt with effort as you try to force the door open. Test strength. Well, he can't do that yet. He'll have to wait till next turn to do that. So let's go ahead. And we have a new event. Let me gain 2 threat, and let us see what our new event brings. Rats in the attic. The old house is full of eerie sounds, terrifying creaks and groans that once sounded like nothing more than rats in the ancient partitions. But in the growing darkness of the evening, the unnatural noises have begun to take on a whole new life. Each investigator not in the front yard, backyard, or storage shed must test willpower. That's going to be both. At a -2, and if they fail, they take 1 horror. Alright, so we'll start with Jenny. Her willpower is 6. -2 is 4. She fails, so she takes 1 horror. Ashcan here is going to do a skill point. Alright, so that way he gains 4 luck. He's a pretty lucky guy. And 6 -2 is 5, +4 is 9. He passes, so he will not take any horror. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend 1 threat, and I'm going to put another cultist, but I'm going to put 1 on this altar, so let me go ahead and do that.
I can't see my health.
Okay, so I put the cultist right there, and I'm going to spend 1, my last threat, and I'm going to choose 1 investigator. Choose a lone investigator to test willpower -1. And I want to choose Jenny again, and so her willpower is going to be -1. She makes it. I was going to try to put her the mark of the witch on there, but okay, that's the end of their turn. So let us go. So Jenny's going to go 1, and she's going to look at this door, and it's locked. 2 haunting eyes stare from the cracked door. If you have Nola's journal, you may discard this card, otherwise it is locked. Okay, so she looked. 2, 3. Yeah, we got to team up. But he's got test strength. His strength is 6. He passes a 2, so he gets past that door. So he moves in, that's 1. He explores and he finds a sedative. Discard this card to discard 1 trauma card from this figure, including he may not move during his next turn. Well, we'll hold on to that. Okay, so that was 1, explore 2, and that's it for that. And I will take 2 threat, put a time token on the time card here, and let's see what I'm going to do here. Alright. I don't think I need to move any of those guys yet. It takes me 3. I tell you what though, what I will do, I will put another cultist on one of those altar spaces, and I will do evil presence and summon so I can try to build up 3 so I can do one of these things. Okay, so I'm going to put my second cultist there. And if I can do this summoning thing, if I kill 2 cultists, I get a Hounded Tenderloss. But if I can kill 3 cultists, I get a Shaggoth. But I can do this. It's not going to cost me anything. Dining room or kitchen? Well, he just happens to be in the kitchen. Soon across the table is filthy kitchenware and rotting food. Some unknown urge makes you take a bite. Test willpower +1. Okay, well his willpower is 6. He's going to get a +1, so that'll be a 7. And he failed. Ha ha. So he has to take 1 damage and 1 horror. So it's starting to build up on him. Okay. So it is our hero's turn. And well, I'll move her back 1, 2, 3. Then Ashcan will move 1, 2, 3. Man, he's stuck in there. We want to get Nora's journal. So it is our turn. So let me get to these. And let me do my thing again. Let me summon another cultist. Now I'm going to put another cultist right in there. And then I'm going to bank, I'm going to save that last one. Okay, well I hope the strategy is going to work. So I have 3 cultists. Next round I'll gain my 2 threat with my 1 left over, and I can summon a Shoggoth. But it's our hero's turn. Now I'm going to go ahead and let Jenny Barnes, she's going to move in here. And she's going to see what this is. And this is a lockbox. You find a small wooden crate sealed by a clever combination lock. Okay, so let's see if she can go ahead and solve it. Okay, she went ahead and solved it, no problem. So we got rid of the lockbox, and let's see what's here. And this is an Elder Sign. Alright. So that was 1 Explore, 2. Ashcan here can only move 1 space. So that's it for him. Okay, so it is now our turn. Let me gain my 2 threat. And we have a new event. So let's see what the new event brings. And this is Tainted. The sound of maniacal crackling echoes through the walls as if taunting you to continue onward. Each investigator that has at least 1 mark of the witch takes 1 horror. Well, we don't know how that. Then all investigators that do not currently have any mark of the witch tokens receive 1 mark of the witch token. Okay, and there's a special instruction. It says use darkness tokens to represent that. So we'll put that there and that there. And now I will take these 3 and I will use summoning, and it says kill any number of cultists in 1 room to place the corresponding monster in the same room. So I will kill all 3 of these cultists, and I will put a Shoggoth there. Okay, so I put my Shoggoth there, as you can see, and he's a big one. So it is now our hero's turn. And what I will try to probably do with Jenny is I'll move her 1, 2, 3. She may have to go outside. He can finally move in there. That's 1, 2, 3. And that is going to be it. So I will put a time token on the time clock, and I will gain 2 threat. Let me see what I can do with that. Now I'm going to start moving that Shoggoth around, I'll tell you what. So I will move this monster 2 spaces. 1, 2. It's a big one. I will spend 1 to do that. And let's see here. I have a lone investigator. So let's spend another 1. And let's try to get this time willpower -1. Let's see here. Let's test Jenny again to see if we can put a mark of the witch on her. She fails. So she does get another mark of the witch. So it's 2 mark of the witches for her. And now it is our turn. So it's Jenny's turn. Well, she moves 1 and she's stuck in there for the darkness. He moves 1, but he has Nora's journal, so he can open this door. 2, and he will explore. And he finds alien statue. Instead of spending a skill point on a tribute test, you may take 1 mark of the witch to add 3 to the acquired attribute. Okay. And then he finds another clue, clue 3A. And this says, the loathsome statue opens your mind to other places, other worlds, and other dimensions. You feel a rush of energy as your mind surges forward, summoning you to venture outside and into a small rustic building. Okay, well, I guess that would be right there. Alright, we'll go ahead and end it here, and when we come back, we will continue on with Season of the Witch. SoloGamer saying, see you then.